Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video, I'm taking a look at these drop side step bars fitting 2020 and newer JT Gladiators. These steps are going to appeal to the JT owner who's on the hunt for a strong and affordable side step. They've got a cool style, a high load capacity, good ground clearance, and an affordable price tag, so they make a great addition to any truck, whether it's one that works hard, plays hard, or one that just needs to look cool. We see a lot of side steps come through here, and they're easily one of the most popular modifications that owners make to their vehicles, whether they're planning on doing other modifications or not. These are some of the cooler options I've seen personally as it comes to side steps, and I like them for a few reasons. First, they have a pretty neat, unique style to them. Described as a pentagonal shape, they look a bit different than a typical round or square tube side step might. And uniqueness is good. You don't want your Gladiator to look like everyone else's. These also have the benefit of featuring a large step. They measure 5 inches in width, 14 inches in length, and they have a 4-inch drop from the main section of the bar here. So even if you've got some heavy duty footwear on, you're gonna have room, and you're also gonna have a grip. They've got these raised pieces right here to grip onto your boots. These bars also have a weight capacity of 550 pounds each, so they're gonna be able to handle pretty much anything you can throw at them. And it makes it very easy to access the cabin or the roof of your truck should you need to do so. Now these are a one-piece bar, so the steps here do not detach. It makes them a very solid platform. But they also don't drop down too terribly far. They're only about 5.5 inches from the top to the bottom of the step. So if you do find yourself out on a trail or a rough road somewhere where you might run into an obstacle, these aren't going to negate all your ground clearance or mess too much with your brake over angle either. They do sit up pretty close to the rockers of the truck as well, so should you happen to catch them on something or get hit in a parking lot, these are going to take the brunt of the hit instead of that job being taken up by the body of your Jeep. Now, the bars are made using thick, fully enclosed steel tubing, and they are again fully welded together, so they are one full piece. These get a 4-step treatment and coating process too for additional rust and corrosion resistance. First, the steel is treated to remove impurities, then it gets hit with a phosphating layer to prevent any corrosion before the next steps. Then an e-coating layer is applied, followed up by this cool textured black powder coat that you see on top. And I think this has a really interesting finish to it. It almost looks like snakeskin type of pattern to it. It's not quite supposed to be that, but it sort of looks that way. It gives me that impression. But suffice it to say, these are going to be very well protected from rust and corrosion and the elements, meaning that they'll be able to stand up to whatever you can throw at them, and they should last you quite some time. The bracketry is all done the same way as well, again, made out of steel and finished in that same type of coating. Pricing is also a highlight here, as these are only going to run you about $375, which makes them a very affordable option within the category. While they aren't the big old fancy electronic steps, you are getting a lot of protection for your money here, and a cool style to boot, plus additional access. I like something that's simple and clean when it comes to side steps, so these are a clear choice for your build if you like that as well. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter and should only take you about an hour to complete. Now these are a totally bolt-on installation. They come with all the hardware and the bracketry that you need included in the box. This just happens to be one of them for an example. Not much more we can say about it here, so with that, let's head on out to the shop and we'll walk you through the install process.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, 10 and 17 millimeter wrenches, a 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench, and 10, 13, and 16 millimeter sockets. What's up guys? Today we're installing a set of side steps on our Gladiator, so let's get started. So first we can install our mounting brackets. Now each set of holes in the pinch weld has a main bracket and a support bracket. They're a little bit different, but they all install the same. So we'll get these up and installed, and then we can get our side step on. So we're starting off on the rear. I'm gonna mount our support bracket first. So we have a 10 mil bolt with a flat washer going through the hole in our pinch weld. And then we'll slide another flat washer and a nut on the other end. And then we'll do the same thing for the other hole. And then we can mount our main bracket. I've got a 13 millimeter bolt with a lock washer and flat washer that's going into the threaded hole above. And then a 16 mil bolt with a flat washer going through the 2 brackets, another flat washer, and a nut on the other side. And now we can take a 10 millimeter socket and wrench to tighten down our support bracket. And then we can switch to a 13 millimeter socket to tighten down our top bolt. And then finally a 16 millimeter socket and 17 millimeter wrench to tighten down the bolt that connects our two brackets. And now you can repeat that same process for the other two brackets on this side, as well as the 3 on the other side. So now with all of our brackets installed, we can lift our side step up onto our brackets and then get underneath and install our bolts. Now we can come underneath and install our combo bolts into those threaded holes in the side step. Now for the top bolt, I'm going to be using a 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench since we don't have enough room to get a ratchet in there. And then for the bottom bolt, we'll just take a 13 millimeter socket and tighten that one down. And then you can do that same thing for the other two brackets and repeat the whole process on the other side. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the drop side step bars for your 2020 and newer Jeep Gladiator JT. Thank you for watching, and for all things Gladiator, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.